Welcome to the lovely IHP paid and free subscriber community. We have a reading and a spotlight, and really we already had the reading and spotlight in our 1 minute short and our 3 minute sample of the IHP-IG Mindset reading for paid subscribers. So next week we will roll out for the paid subscribers with our 5 minute and 15 minute, and that way you will have that in the subscriber content link below if you're on YouTube watching me, and you'll find the link that leads you to Spotify for podcasters or creators, but IHP is on a number of podcasts. Also, we have lives for TikTok, so stay tuned for schedules, and we are going to have subscriber paid TikTok content. So with that, everything that IHP is related with the content that I create, I'm a mentor, content creator, and podcast host, is only going to be good if you are a person who cares about yourself first, which means you know how to use your brain and your embodied brain. So you know that emotionally immature people, they want love because they want pats on the back. They do enjoy their in and out group stories. They also think righteousness is something to be proud of, as well as anger in a very emotionally immature, sympathetic, modulated. So they don't want to do work and they don't want to do maturity, but they do love using their mouths, meaning words, blah, 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 blah. So an empowered person right here, when you're consistently expanding because of your beginner's mind, you're a part of our 5D mystic, spiritual, mindful, living, loving collective. Because really, egos that are righteous are completely insecure, completely destabilized, completely dysregulated, and they have the one thing that lacks them knowing who God is. Discerning equanimous love, like the chapter that I wrote in the book I'm a co-author of. So the ways to God, it's out. You can order it ebook, paperback, hardcover. The point is compassion is in the lead because of the prefrontal. I use words, but I'm using my body. And as I do love to share, yes, we protect the future because our bodies actually use eustress. So while I can be a quote-unquote angry Christian Catholic who's a mystic, who's spiritual, who also knows religious, spiritual, we're all one and the same, and people who like to sound like they know everything and they have righteousness and virtue, well, I still get told by God, stop judging human suffering, Maria, and it's not judging it good or bad because I'm not God. So see, evil is only from Michael Stone's forensic criminologist scale. Yes, I was eating my words in our 3 minutes because, 3 minutes, really, how much are you going to learn? But I'll make sure to try my best to have only emotionally available people here because, again, the immature ones want to be loved and just to be part of a group. And I don't do Peter Pan's, Lost Boys, and Wendy's because I spot them like a hawk and make fun of every single one of those 4D, 3D pseudo-intellectuals. I'm woo-woo pseudoscience. I ain't a pretender. And I do not, to this day, enjoy them, which is why God keeps chiming in. So resentment builds this illusion of you being able to be righteous. And again, it's all about the feelings. And yes, it's because what feels right to me doesn't mean it feels right to I just want it to be right. You know what I would love? For people to take climate change seriously so that I don't have to worry about the future children because I'm an empowered feminine. I care about the future children. But then God chimes in and reminds me, you're physically safe, Maria. Remember that intelligence always wins, not stupidity. So I just sit here and watch. While Sadhguru sometimes shares with you, his lovely quotes. I love you, Sadhguru, man, but when you say all humans are destructive, no, it's only the ones who don't know how to spot them like a hawk and hear them, and they think they're all virtuous as they play Russian roulette on a screen. And I'm so at ease with being the angry Christian Catholic mystic who's looking at anyone in their eyes as they say, oh, polyamory? Whore, sure I am. I mean, really, what else are you going to come at with? Really, how did anybody ever wonder how did people grow up like thinking that these are actual interesting like comebacks? I'm just saying, like it's not even a comeback. You don't even know what you're wielding with your mouth anymore. So what I'm trying to let you all in on, fun fact, nobody gets angry when you know who God is because you're not worried. As I am a worrywart. I'm a moral perfectionist, apparently, but I'm not a moral perfectionist, according to those who think that it's because of the polyamory community that our traditional families are broken down. I'm going to say no. It's because men and women who use words don't know what it means to have a securely attached 1-year-old. In fact, they think it's dangerous to have no emotions. And I'm like, wow, you're a moron. But I didn't know about us being all emotional until I learned about the embodied brain. So now I got, science in my back pocket, but I'm the woo pseudoscience lady. And I like to spot the idiots who think that their trending topics are amazing. I just think, wow, 4D, you really ain't going anywhere. Emotionally immature people. So, as lovely Patrick Chan pointed out, your parents did the best they could. He says reframe at avoiding the responsibility and emotional labor of their job. And I say, yeah, let's add to that, shall we, Patrick? Because I know they can't raise their frequency, vibration, or be in any way, shape, or form actually in their prefrontal cortex as they download and channel like I do and any of our 5D mystic, spiritual, mindfully living, loving, enlightening human beings who are also, religious, spiritual. The Dalai Lama is enlightened. He told all of the smart ones, well, if they're smart, they're going to hear him. If they're not, I remember what happened to the Roman Empire, and I really do love change because I'm a whole self. You can't get rid of Maria. Because that's what happens when your personality patterns, temperament, and your attachment is secure and you own the own solo self, sense of self. Yep, all here. I got big grown-up words to use for something that I was knowing since I was a kid. My BFFF of all times. Why'd you lie to me? Because I was afraid. I forgive. You know this about me. I forgave him 3 times now. And I forgave. This doesn't make sense. So once again, why didn't you tell me? I mean, I understand you didn't want to speak in front of the other stranger who was not a stranger, but okay, you were embarrassed, but you lied to me. And then I did something that I now know was morally wrong, and I learned from that. Never to trust that anybody that says they love you will actually be honest, because again, a 3-year-old doesn't know how to be honest when they have shame, blame, fault, revenge, guilt, and they want to stand. And I'm okay with them doing whatever they want because Cusco is a liar and my body immediately perceives it, and it's not evil, Knievel, medieval in a way of a demon. 4D doesn't learn how to take care of their emotional body because they don't want to go and get their window of tolerance expanded. They think that it's coping. The good therapists, they're not helping you cope, they're helping you to uncharge. But hey, if you don't want to uncharge, please go and act like buffoons. And in the meantime, our bodies, they continue to grow with you stress. So when you're common sense, because you're smart, that's exactly why. At IHP, it's not going to be morons that we have, because I ain't a moron. I can be stupid on a lot of things, and I'm not stupid when it comes to how I use my body brain. So, connectivity. Thanks to internet, I get to connect with smart-ass human beings who taught me something that I already knew how to do. Tara Brock, thank you so much. I learned how to navigate the waves of emotions because unknowns into the unknown. There's no siren. I'm my only siren, but I'm doing better with my exercises. Yep, and I have complete clarity in my brain. And radical acceptance means you have no envy, no jealousy, no spite, no little pent-up shit in your gut, which is actually quite obvious. What happens when Maria gets pissed? Nothing, because my facade friend, he showed me what buffoons do. They lie to you again and again and again. So when someone brings to me their shame button and their attachment wounds, I know from the therapist that I'm doing a great job. And from the reading that, by the way, the 5-minute and 15-minute, again, so it will only be for paid subscribers. You got a 3-minute sample, and it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and then it's inner growth mindset put into practice applications because you know how to use your brain, and that's because it's integrated. This is not a race, please. It is not a race. It's anyone who understands if you don't wake up energized and you don't know how to think good thoughts and you don't know how to be neutral and done all of that, then you still want to go to somatic therapist so that you can become what is quote-unquote angry, whatever you are. I'm a Christian Catholic who's a mystic, who's a person. My name's Maria, and I got a child right here, and she don't like when she sees children being mean to each other. All of them. And God keeps telling me to mind my own business. Buddha makes fun of me, and I make fun of him, because suffering, you don't have to suffer unless you have a destructive mindset, which you'll call brilliant. That was where Sadhguru, what was the quote? Only destructive mode is what humans are, something like that. I'm like, no, they think they're brilliant because grandiosity, righteousness, the angry little certainty button of people who are in their modulated is, again, a 3-year-old with a 16-year-old who's using stereotypes. If they only learned how to hear knowledge and then, oh, look, I do become a moron when I get angry. Maybe I might want to learn how to harness my anger because it's mine. Maybe I want to learn how to harness my sadness because it's mine. It is a very emotionally made world, and when I don't want people to feel what's right. I can tell that you don't know what feels right and wrong to you as you whine on screen and have a bunch of cynics with you as they dismantle and make fun of people who are connecting to their community based on what Well, it's not about what feels right. Go ask the flat earthers. They believe the earth is flat. I mean, it's not because of me. They actually came up with, I mean, really, it's amazing how many of my brothers and sisters can believe. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Oh, 5D Collective, we're grounded in reality, which is why, as a mystic, woo-woo, pseudoscience lady, I love talking about astral travel, about Akashic record readings, about Reiki, all of it, and it does work. But again, you don't raise your frequency or your vibration without healing first your inner child, because otherwise you're going to be using an amygdala, which basically doesn't look good inside. Outside, you can look amazing. I mean, that woman and man, they keep looking as fancy as can be. So, with that being said, in addition to parents avoiding the responsibility and emotional labor of their job as just human beings who could actually, I always looked up to grown-ups, and then I became one. And now I look up to myself and the actual real grown-ups, and it's functional child adults, and it's not somebody who's mediocre. Nope, mediocrity is not something I look up to. I don't look down, because God is always behind me saying, Maria, remember, you know your place. Yes, God, don't worry. I know my place. My brothers and sisters who don't know their place, you know your yes, I do know my place. Mind your own business. Okay. And that's it. And you just stare in the faces of people who think they know shit. As they boil up inside, you just think, wow, if only you could get out of resentment. And that poor child, if you only took it to Patrick Chan, you'd be with him instead of with me. And you'd learn how to eventually, if you ever want to, forgive your household, not me, not the world, no, your own home, HOME. So when people don't go and heal with a Patrick Chan, they're projecting what happened to them, which is why that's shitty. I don't suffer life. Why do I have to suffer life? Because you don't know how to go and handle your nervous system. Doesn't feel right to me that I have to put up with all these people who are suffering. I got it, God, don't worry. So channeling, downloading, all of you, if you're of spirit and of source, you have a relationship with God. And God is only one, and it's called intelligence, consciousness. We don't even need the word. Sadhguru, I love you, man, as he laughs just like I do at all of those who are, I mean, really, I'm going to leave it alone right now because I'm being chimed in. So emotionally immature people, they would do great if they took care of their actual self, become a person who can have fun with who they are. And yes, I've heard about chronic pain, and I've heard about suicidal idealization. I have a bunch of courses. They all gave me one thing. People choose if they want to go and get help, and then they choose if they don't want. And guess what happens when somebody meets a kind person and they don't go get help? Disappointment, unknown. What is that even word? Those words mean nothing to a person who realizes just how many people lack self-awareness, accountability, and regulation, and you learn the information. Data replicates itself quantitatively again and again and again and again. So 3D, 4D, yep, they're sticking to their ignorance, but it's okay because they don't have to be securely attached, non-traumatized. They can stay not securely attached. They can stay unhealed while they think in their angry butthole. No, they feel and they think and they treat their body like a piece of shit, and they continue to actually think they know what they're talking about. And I've seen them in my courses. It's not funny. Between spiritual bypassers, savior complex, and therapists who need healing, oh, sure, call the mystic the predator. You know how many predators are out there? So when people want to use big words, it's not weaponizing. I just know, wow, you got sophisticated all of a sudden. Oh, I'm scared now. He used the dictionary on me, or she did, or they did. I met academics. They're buffoons just as much as anybody else who's not an academic, who doesn't know how to use bilateral, vertical, and overall integration. Oh, look, they think they know everything. Wow, that's a teenager. Cusco, how's it going? I think Yzma's still like right there influencing how you act. My gosh, why don't they learn how to get a handle on that self-agency? It's really fun. This is the self-agent. See, I get to have fun in my butthole because ignorance, I don't like mediocrity. I didn't like it as a teenager. I still don't like it. And I love academics, so I learned from the smart ones and the golden nuggets from the stupid ones. They're not stupid. Yes, I can be stupid too with math. So that's why my family and my loved ones are like, you kind of seem cocky, Maria. No, I'm just confident. That means you judge. No, I just have strong opinions. Yeah, no, because I know from smart human beings that 97% of what is out there is unavailable for scientists to observe, and they keep on coming together with peers who review things, and I just love it. So, and that's why my loved ones, you're just trying to know, I really just, infinity and beyond, into the unknown. That's what pure consciousness enjoys. And pure energy. It's a child who lives in an adult's brain, and who, again, come on over 5D Collective, because it's really fun to be a grounded in reality human. Thanks, Sam Harris. Anyway, I love you, God. Cherishable beliefs could be falsifiable. Dark matter, dark energy, don't implode on us. Please, asteroid, don't hit us. Oh, 4D is coming up with the best for the future. Like, I mean, really, I can't wait to see what else they come up with. I'm just so sad that I have to, like, look at some of the people that I looked at as grown-ups once. Yeah, I actually already kind of knew this was going to happen, and I'm not mentioning who I'm talking about because it's kind of sad, you know, when you look at people and think, wow, you could keep on expanding, but somehow you decided to just get all enamored with yourself and your theories, and then you close yourself off from every other peer from out there. And it's so humorous how many Wendy's have Peter Pans and Lost Boys following each other around. So avoid their job at emotional labor, yes, as people in the world who care about let's make the world a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people crying, dying, and more. You know what's nice about the 5D Collective is we're successful entrepreneurs, and thanks to the internet, we're connected to each other. And because we don't waste our time in human suffering, but we use our brains effectively, it's actually quite clear when Schopenhauer makes his quote of, if you want to appeal to a large audience, appeal to the masses. I know the masses that I'm appealing to. It never was about inspire mediocrity. It's inspire human potential. Obviously, you're motivated to inspire yourself to be the best version of yourself. I just got attachment trauma educated in the last 3-4 years, and it's settling in well, and God keeps chiming in. He already taught me not to play the know-it-all when I was about 20. I remember that, don't you worry, God. I'm doing Dharma, not karma. That's the other fun thing about 5D. So everyone can take their emotional and mental responsibility, yep, seriously, and become mature and stop projecting and living out their trauma into the world and their relationships. So instead of us having to hear the one truth of this life, this very existence is suffering, I know what you're doing, Zalian Master, but they're not using the ventral vagal toning exercises of Buddhism and of yoga and of all this. So let's make it clear what all of the different religious groups and everything, philosophy, exercises, okay? So you use your ventral vagal state if you are able to have access to sensations, images, behaviors, affects, and meanings. And that's only if you have access to your child charged parts that are uncharging and or uncharged. It's basic. So with all that being said, disappointment and the unknowns, yes, they are not the end. They are just the beginning of expansion. Again and again and again, as Patrick McNamara points out, our human species has consistently evolved with decentraling of the self and consciousness expanding. So you don't lose yourself when you own the sense of self. Your 1-year-old, your 3-year-old, all your child parts right here. Maria is my name. Join us again, IHP for paid subscribers below. And if you don't want, that's okay. We might be back with some more stories and fun. I didn't get to show you all the cards, but again, the 5-minute and 15-minute IHP-IG Mindset reading exercises and food for thought will be for the paid subscribers rolling out next week. So become a paid subscriber and you'll be able to access that. Otherwise, there's the 3-minute one. Thanks for stopping by. Like, share, and subscribe, and allow anybody who wants to actually be their self, 5D mystic, spiritual, mindful, living, loving person who wants to enjoy healthy, self-worth, empowered human beings. It's called emotionally mature, available people who do not do drama king, drama queen shit, and we don't pretend to have virtue. Virtue is a character trait or quality considered morally good and desirable. Yeah, keep using that mouth. It represents a positive moral excellence, often associated with goodness, righteousness, and high ethical standards. Righteousness, people, if they're using it correctly, great in their bodies. Otherwise, they're not going to. And really, nobody needs to be righteous. We all can be compassionate, forgiving, and knowing every one of us is imperfect and flawed. And actually, because it's a subjective reality, someone's going to say, it isn't enough to be saluted, and they have unhealthy self-worth, and they need to be acknowledged. So the next time I saw them, I'm like, at least you looked at me. So you're not going to treat your emotionally immature brothers and sisters like shit, because that's really not nice, because they have trauma that they're not healing with Patrick Tan. So we know how to play. No, we know how to handle emotionally immature people. They're in their biological rudeness. We're the grown-ups, you see. That's why I still look to grown-ups, not up, not down, at them. And when I see children, I look straight at them too. Because like when I was a child, I'm like, I know what I'm doing. They know what they're doing too, with their brilliant destructive mode. And so you'll share with them, I accept, love, and respect you just the way you are. I will not cut you out because I know how to be an effective communicator and spell out my healthy boundaries. And it's not, I'm a healer, how dare you trauma dump. It's none of that. It's, this is what I am, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do, and this is it. So are we good? Great. Are we not? Okay, thank you so much. See you later, alligator. So we'll be back with more. Have a good one.